Well, the heat may have people staying inside, but the fish don't care what the forecast says. You just have to know when to fish and where to find them.
And that's right. It's a good thing that we have captains all over Texas doing the homework for you. It's time to catch on the Texas Insider Fishing Report, which starts now.
Welcome to the Texas Insider Fishing Report. Presented by Yamaha.
Hello and welcome back to the Texas Insider Fishing Report. We've got a great show lined up for you this week.
We really do.
We really do as well. We are just on our well way into August. Rick, did you do anything fun this past weekend? Of course you did. Tell us about it.
Of course I did. You know what? We were doing a Sportsman's Adventure episode, fishing fly rods for a world record snook and Stewart with a lady angler.
How cool.
Love it. We had over 50 fish. One fish we had that we thought was the world record, but I'm not going to share any more about it because you're going to have to watch Sportsman's Adventures to see
and
what
find
happened.
out. This man's on an adventure every weekend. All right, well, we have our very own Matt Losher joining us at the Parts View Workbench, who had his own adventure today, and he is sharing some of his wisdom. Welcome back to the show, Matt.
It's great to be here in the studio, guys. We're going to be talking about some cork soaking today.
Ooh, all
right. That's what I'm talking about,
That's
baby.
That's going to be super fun. All right, well, as we know, some of the best fishing this time of year comes down to timing the tides and finding the right water. So let's chat with Captain Mickey Eastman for some more details from the Phillips Upper Coast region. What's going on, Mickey?
Hello, Bree, Rick, Matt. Let's get rolling with the inshore report, starting out with the Galveston Bay complex. Speckled trout. Hot spots right now is Upper Galveston Bay, Trinity Bay, and the upper back bays in the San Jacinto River watershed. They're all in great shape after all the recent rains and high temperatures. Cooler currents coming in from the Gulf. They're fueling some great action over deep shell along a ship channel and fishing open water mid-bay shell. That's the best action for specks right now. You know, work the shell pads around the gas wells and platforms, especially on tidal movement. Fish deep with mirror little johns, shad assassins, and Berkeley gulp. And throw in pearl and chartreuse in early morning hours, and switch over to bright glitter colors mid-morning and later in the day. Weight fishermen, you know, they're still catching quality specks early in the morning on top dogs, she dogs, Berkeley jaywalkers, end bone, and chartreuse and blue chrome colors. And water conditions are green and 90 degrees. Sabine Lake's receiving a lot of fresh water from recent rains, but it has the trout concentrated on the lower end of the lake, lower channel, Sabine Pass, and the jetties. And fish are, you know, adhering to deep structure along humps, ledges, and drop-offs covered in live oyster shell, and pearl and chartreuse bass assassins, crankbaits, and live shrimp. They're the ticket. Short rigs in the Gulf, they're holding some nice specks in about 19 feet of water off the southwest legs of those platforms. Water, it's murky green, 89 degrees. This week's speckled trout photo, that's two happy young men fishing with Captain Blaine Farmboot in Trinity Bay. And moving over to redfish, redfish action starting to pick up in the north end of Trinity Bay, especially on shallow flats and sandbars near these grass lines at Jack's Pocket and Triangle Pass. Small topwaters, gold spoons, and soft plastics. And swim baits, they're working the best. Spoil islands are fair to good on redfish along the ship channel with gulp shrimp and shad assassins. And slot redfish, they're really plentiful at the Galveston jetties using soft plastics and live finger mullet. Open water schools, they're still prevalent in the upper end of East Bay with Berkeley gulp and mirror little johns. Fish slicks, gulls, and mud boils. And then slide over to Sabine Lake. The jetties are really good for slot redfish right now on live shrimp, Berkeley gulp, and soft plastics. Fish shallow along the rocks on the incoming tide. Your back lakes and marsh ponds, they're holding fair numbers of redfish on high tides. Look for diving gulls in the middle of the lake on calm days for bigger schools of redfish. And water conditions are green and heating up to about 90 degrees surface temperature in the middle of the day. Redfish photo, that's tons of slot redfish with Captain Blaine Farmboot out of Baytown, Texas. An offshore report, offshore fishing, it's really heating up for multiple species of fish like big red snapper, cobia, dorado, sailfish, swordfish, and an occasional blue marlin. and tons of bottom fish, including some really nice tilefish. Kingfish, they've been kind of scattered and spotty at best. Tarpon, they're here along the beachfront. The rough seas are keeping the smaller boats, the tarpon boats in, but our tarpon run really gets extremely good from late August through early November. And this week's photo is a really nice Dorado. That's from Outcast Charters out of Galveston. That was caught on Captain Sharky's boat.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, boy, Sharky and Blaine have really been helping you with all the pictures. Tell them I'm really grateful when you get a chance. Mickey, hope the wife's doing good. Give her a kiss for us. We're gonna go and take a look at the daiquiri deck hotspots from the Upper Coast region. He says Upper Trinity Bay, it's good for slot redfish on the North Flats along the grass lines and bayou mouths. The deep shell structures in Trinity Bay and Upper Galveston Bay, they're producing solid size specks and good numbers on soft plastic. And the gas wells and platforms are ideal right now for trout using soft plastics and live shrimp.
Gosh, those Dorado really just get me going, Rick.
I know
that bull, man.
mahi is your favorite.
The colors, I can't stand it. All right, the Preshtex Middle Coast region is hitting its summer stride with great options, whether you're wade fishing, working the surf, or heading offshore with Captain Bink Grimes. Go for it, Bink.
Hey, it finally calmed down this week. That's normal for August. We've been waiting for it. We're tossing mirror she dogs and she pups in the first gut of the surf, the bruiser ocean trout, and then we're finding birds working in the middle of the bay and tossing top waters underneath them as well. Along Surfside Beach near Freeport, you don't need a boat. There's miles of sand you can fish on foot, and it regularly coughs up good trout. Most toss plugs and soft plastics. Take a bait bucket of live shrimp as well. Waders around San Luis Pass scored 2 on 51M mirror lures, soft signs, and bass assassins. The bays have been just as profitable. Deep Reefs and West Matagorda Bay are holding trout on gulps under mid-coast corks. Shell Island, Mad Island, Twin Island are holding trout as well. There's lots of undersized throwbacks in the mix, but there's a lot of really good trout too. Drifting and wading East Bay has been good on red shad and fire tiger, bass assassin, and turbo and dragon tail gulps. Caught a lot of those today underneath them. Rockport waders have gone tight to the shorelines early in the morning on corkies and small topwaters. They're getting in there at about shin deep water because our water temperatures have been running about 90 degrees, but overnight that water gets a lot cooler in that shallows, and those fish are up there before the sun comes up. Later in the day, they're following the deep grass and sand flat, belly deep water, and eating bass assassins and mirror Little Johns. Deep Reefs and West Bay has been good for drifting with topwaters and gulps under a cork. Like I said, that dragon tail and turbo shrimp have really been a killer this year, and the camo and the flamingo color. August is traditionally a month, or our seas, we get a lot of light winds and scorching temperatures. We love to wade mid-bay shell. I'm going to do that in the morning. Matter of fact, I'm going to start out early right on top of the shell. I'm going to go chest deep. I'm going to toss mirror lure, soft tines, and bass assassins on the incoming tide and get them. Photo there, that's Bird. He found his East Matagorda Bay trout on a Berkeley Gulf by drifting in 5 foot of water. It's hot out there, so man, these big trout, take care of them, get them back in the water as fast as you can, because it really, the heat of our summer really stresses them out. Redfish action, lots of redfish in the surf. Most of those fish are right on the beach in the first gut. You're able to make long casts on the boat. Live shrimp has been best. Surfside, Matagorda, and Porter Connor Jetty are holding lots of large schools. They're shadowing those pogies. They're coming up on top. There's a lot of fish in the 40-inch class out there. Waders along West Matagorda Bay, they're catching reds off the grass line. Don't be surprised to find redfish under birds on those calm days. The end of the jetty in Matagorda is holding lots of upper slot redfish. They're trailing menhaden shrimp and mullet. Those reds are falling. There's just a lot of, traditionally in August, there's a lot of pogies that come in through our passes in the mouth of the Colorado River on the incoming tide, and those redfish are right behind them, and so are the tarpon. Porter Connor and Porter Ranges jays are holding lots of bull redfish while soaking pinfish. Incoming tide's been best with a lot of fish over 40 inches. Then redfish have been coming to the surface in the middle of the day in all our bays. Just look for a diving gull, and there's probably a redfish underneath it. Offshore, hey, the calm weather has been a boon for them. There's large schools of tarpon showing on our beach in Matagorda. They're fickle creatures. One day they bite, one day they don't. You just got to keep fishing them. That's tarpon. Consensus among the anglers are some of them are rolling and greyhound in about 40 foot of water just a few miles off the beach near Freeport and Matagorda. But there's 90 plus feet of water in the channel at the Port O'Connor jetty, and those tarpons love to loaf and roll in Interstate Bay, entering and exiting that channel. I'm going to go do some of that probably Friday morning. Many boats are posting off the tip of the jetty and waiting for those rolling schools, casting a finger mullet, throwing a plug, coon pop. There's so many large menhaden, like I said, all up and down our beaches right now that those tarpon are shadowed on, and they're just really tearing them up. Our tarpon action is cranking up. That's normal for August. It should only get better for our catches. As we grow into September and October, it just really heats up in the Prosec's Middle Coast region. Hey, our fishery's in good shape. Please take care of our bays and oceans. Please release more than you take. Please go get you a stick of Prosec's jerky and smile and have a good time on the water.
Okay, bud, thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the mirror lure hotspots from the Middle Coast region. The trout are good in the surf on sheep pups while working the first gut, and the redfish are good at Port O'Connor jetty on shrimp and pogies. And the tarpon, they're showing up along that beachfront. Don't forget it.
All right, well, next we're checking in with the Upper Fresh region for the latest bass, crappie, and striper action. Then Matt Loescher joins Rick at the Parts View workbench with tips you can put to use on your next trip. Some bobber banter, gentlemen?
How crazy is it? I brought my freshwater expert from the Middle Fresh region, and he's gonna teach me about how he uses a slip cork for crappies. And what else you got for me, big boy?
We're going to talk about some bobbers that your basic bobbers like a kid would use on your kid setups. We're going to talk about some popping corks, some clacking corks, all kinds of corks, every kind of float or strike
Don't go
indicators,
anywhere.
as I like
Don't go anywhere because we're getting ready to get down on the corks, baby.
Right.
The Texas Insider Fishing Report is brought to you by Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Ameritrail. Load, launch, relax. Fenwick. Feel everything. Bahio. Blue light blocking, radically clear polarized fishing sunglasses. Sportsman's Adventures with Captain Rick Murphy. Fishing for adventure. Berkeley, your fish, our science. Proshek Smokehouse. Pack your cooler with Texas smoked meats. Lithium battery power, powering your lifestyle. And Skeeter Performance Fishing Boats. Eat, sleep, fish.
Have you ever felt your heart pounding while feeling the power of a tarpon in the Florida Keys? Or experienced the changing colors of a mahi while you bring it on board? Whether it's in the Bahamas, the Florida Keys, Guatemala, or the Florida Everglades, Murphy's Law Sport Fishing has the ability to guide you to the fish of a lifetime. To book your trip today, call 305-878-0455 or go to murphyslawsportfishing.com.
Hey fish fans, tell all your fishing buddies that you can now stream your favorite fishing shows anytime with Pursuit Plus. Watch full episodes of Sportsman Adventures, Florida and Texas Insider Fishing Report on demand whenever you want. Whether you're looking for fishing action, reports, tips, or the latest conditions, it's all in one place. Sign up today at PursuitPlusTV.com for just $4.99 with promo code RickPlus and never miss another bite.
Well, check it out. We're here at the Parts View workbench. You know what? I brought in my expert from the Middle Fresh region. And you know, when I did a Sportsman Adventure episode with him, we had the best time. And you know, I thought because we're freshwater versus saltwater, it would be really cool to do a segment on corks and the variety of different shapes and how they work. So I'm going to start off, Matt. You know, we have rattling types of corks. Mm-hmm. They can be oval shaped. They can be clacker, you know, where they actually have weights. Now, the mistake that people make, especially on this oval one, is that they don't understand that the big heavy beads are the weights. So the cork's gonna sit in the water like such. The same thing with this 4-horse. This is a big giant weight. It's designed for this, and here's a couple of key things. If you tie on to this swivel with a loop knot and you pop the cork, guess what happens? Your jig rotates like this, and it really doesn't get as good a pop. So make sure when you tie onto the swivel, the cork side of the leader, make sure you tie that with a clinch knot or some type of knot that cinches down to the swivel. The other thing that happens with rattle corks is they get worn out after a period of time. Bass Assassin, with their rattle cork system, they include a couple of different bobbers.
Nice.
So you can switch this out, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You're just going to push through, and then these plastic pieces go into the end of the cork like so, and now you got a brand new cork ready to work for you. One other thing I'll add about this is when you go to the bait and tackle store, you got a white with orange. The orange band is so you can see it from a long ways away. But when you have the green, what you have here is this tells me that this is weighted. So anyone with a green is going to cast even further, but sometimes you don't need a weight.
I didn't know that.
All right, tell me about a slip cork, because some of the boys use them for tarpon fishing in real deep water.
Really?
I want to see the version that you guys use for crappie fishing.
All right, so we've got a wide assortment here of different sizes. These are the Eagle Claw balsa style slip floats. And the beauty of it, like you already alluded to, is that you can fish. This allows you to fish a cork, bobber, strike indicator, as I like to call it, at any depth. It doesn't limit you to shallow water because you're not pegging the line. The line is allowed to slide through the bobber to, oh, that weight is slipping there. Let me use this one.
Hand me that. While you describe it, I'm going to hold it so that we can see it.
Right, so you feed your line through the slip bobber here.
Right.
You tie on your hook and your weight.
Right.
Before you do that, though, you put on your little bobber stopper here and your bead. We can demonstrate one of those if you want. And what that allows it to do is when it comes from the rod, it allows that line to slide through the bobber, and then it will stop at whatever depth you set this bobber stopper right here, which is super easy to install. You just slide it on the line, cinch it down at whatever depth you want. I like to use my body as a reference. We're belt deep, we're chest deep, however it is. And whatever depth I'm seeing the fish at, right? That's where I'm going to set that. And then, or right above them. If it's crappie, you always want to be above them, right? And it's just a super simple setup. A lot of people get confused on how to rig them, but once you break it down, it's really quite simple, and it allows you to fish for those crappie or whatever type of fish, and even tarpon at any depth.
Obviously, we're going to trim this off, but the whole idea, guys, is we got this blood knot that's on the line.
Correct.
And this allows us, if Matt says we go to a different spot, we just slide this up. But here's the cool part. When we go to reel, that goes through the eye of the hook, and now you have this ability to throw a short leader.
Yes, that's
and then
very
when
critical.
when it gets to the bottom, look how this works. When we go to get ready, it's going to go through the eye of the guide and goes right on down. And as you can tell, this is going to slip. But when you get ready, when this is on the water, look how this slides down. Boom, because the weight pulls it down.
Exactly.
They use the same thing in tarpon fishing off of the west coast of Florida.
How about that?
But much, much bigger, you know.
Right,
and a bigger cork, too.
Yes, yes.
What else you got?
All right, so just looking at the different sizes here, we've got small all the way to a large size, a 3/4 inch all the way to an 1 1/8 size. And I like to use those basically based on the conditions, right? So you've got a smaller guy here for calm conditions, more of a finesse presentation. And obviously you'd want to use a lighter weight so you don't seek the cork, all the way up to the big guy here, the 1 1/8. I like to use this one when it's real windy out, because what I do is I can see it better for one thing because it's bigger. I can see it in the waves. And what I'll do is I'll pinch this larger, this is a size 0 Eagle Claw split shot here. I can pinch this on and it'll slow down the drift. So when it's windy, using this bigger setup slows the drift so you're not drifting past the fish too quickly. And then you can also extend your leader below your weight a little longer so that your minnow is not bobbing up and down as much with the weight. It'll have a little more free line to move there.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the corks that actually crimp or clamp onto your line.
Yes.
This is what typically comes, guys, in every one of your kids' combo. So they got this little cork here, but for the sake of TV, I'm going to show you how this works. The way it works is when you pinch this down, as you can see, let me get my fingers out of the way, we take the monofilament and go through that little gold loop there. And by going through there and that pops up in the hole that's provided, then it pinches off just like so. Now it won't move. So we can change our depth, whether it's the cork one made out of foam or whether it's this plastic one. Here's what the cool part about this is. In this particular, when you get a bite on this, as it goes deeper, what ends up happening is it continues to resist. So they feel that sliding through the water versus when this goes down, it's the same amount of pressure that allows that shiner to swim, but more importantly, it's not gonna make the fish come up jumping until you've had time to hook them.
Right.
You did an awesome job over here, man. I think I got a job for you. He needs to come more often, don't you think, Bree?
He should. Who knew there was so much to talk about bobbers?
Right.
Good job, gentlemen. The 101.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it. All right, well, if you thought the summer heat slowed down, think again. The Upper Fresh region is producing some impressive fish, and Captain Mike McFarland tells us how to catch them from Studio T. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Bree. Hey, Captain. Hey, Matt. Man, it was awesome to see you all together there. And yes, we have some summertime fishing in the Upper Fresh, some really good stuff to tell you about, and some slower stuff. But let's get right to it. The bass on Lake Bodark, it's a bonanza. It is not a new lake anymore. Those fish have grown up. They're Lone Star bass. The average bass is 4 to 5 pounds. They are seeing 8, 9, and they have had double digits already from that Lake Bodark. Early mornings, you might find a little topwater action. There's some schooling fish chasing bait, but it's a very heavy flooded timber lake. So, we have a jaywalker out, Berkeley jaywalker on the deck of the boat, but you're going to want a Berkeley swim jig, just cover a lot of water, fish the trees. You're going to run into, again, some shad and birds will help you narrow down where those schooling fish are. Later in the day, switch to heavier rattling jigs and get kind of flipping and pitching in them deep timber trees and structure. Lake Bodark, awesome fishing. Texoma, Daniel Armstrong said the smallmouth still are catchable, but it is the heat of summer and it's slow. So you're targeting areas with shade, docks, anything you can, big boulders, big rock areas, steep areas, soft plastics, your typical deep crankbaits on long points. But that shade is the key if you're wanting to catch smallmouth on Texoma. Lake Athens, guy Jay Bonner says the nighttime fishing is awesome. Dark, don't even go to the last hour at dark. Get launch your boat at dusk. Fish till midnight. Texas Big Berkeley creature baits in black and blue is all you need. Green pumpkin, if that's one of your favorite colors. Go slow, just run some bank. When you get a few bites, stay in that area back and forth. You'll catch some good fish on Lake Athens. My home lake, Lake Fork. We are actually 3 foot below pool. We're in the upper 80s, low 90s. The dog days are here. I am seeing some good topwater action each morning, but it's not replicatable. So the same location does not happen 2 mornings in a row. Got to get lucky and land on the right spot. But the Berkeley Jaywalker and Bone White, first 30 minutes can really sack up some big fish on fork. The offshore bite is the same. It's hit and miss. The good thing is if you get bit offshore, you are catching the trophy-sized bass, and I highly recommend the Bass Assassin 11-inch assassin worm in plum apple. That's the only bait I'm throwing when I go offshore right now. That catches those big fish on fork. And here they are, a couple summertime pigs for you. These are Lake Fork giant bass that we love to catch every day.
Cool, dude. Way to go. All right, man.
Thank you.
What else you got?
I got some crappie for you. Jackie Wiggins says he's still seeing a lot of fish in 13 to 26 feet. Laydowns, brush piles, timber, underwater. Just make sure you're on structures. Tire reefs are actually holding a lot of fish. They're really stacking up good when you find them. They're catchable real quick. If they're not, just keep moving until you find fish that are. Small hand-tied jigs and minnows have been good. And he's sitting off of the fish. Instead of getting on top of the fish, he's sitting off of the fish, pitching the baits and letting the bait kind of pendulum to and past them. Staying away from them is helping them catch the limits. And here's a nice table of fish from Jackie Wiggins. As always.
Tell me about the stripers, bub.
Stripers on Tawakoni. Cartwright says they're sporadic schooling each morning. Matt Cartwright loves those stripers with a 1-ounce slab spoon real early, but they're just sporadic. The Berkeley 4-inch swim baits also are a best bait right now. Last week, they were trolling a lot, so downriggers with those swim baits are really producing the bigger fish. Moving to Texoma, Daniel Armstrong said it's exactly like we said last week, full-time summer striper fishing. When you run into some big schools, they're big schools, they're huge stripers. Topwater bait sometimes are working in the morning if you're in the right area. Live bait, of course, is always good. In the summertime, it's best about midday to net some new fresh live bait. The heat, that bait just gets real worn out. That's one of the keys Daniel says to staying on good striper action. And then here's Daniel. Normally we show catfish with him, but here's Daniel and some stripers on Lake Texoma.
Nice. Good job, bub. All right, what else you got for us? A little kitty cat, quickly?
We'll give him some kitty cat. All the upper fresh region lakes are fair to good. Channel catfish on baited holes, sour grain. The best thing is you'll use that punch or the sour grain the day before you go fish. Use a little punch bait, stink bait. You can fill your limits still. It is real hot now, so I suggest you do it early and late. But that's what we got here in Upper Fresh region. And Captain, Bree, Matt, love to have you, or thanks for having me. Just love being here.
All right, man. Thank you so much. You do a great job every week. We appreciate all your hard work. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Upper Fresh hot spots from Mike's region. He says Lake Boat Ark is about as good as it gets in the summertime bass fishing. Berkeley swim jigs and rattling jigs used in heavy flooded trees and timber are yielding lots of bass, averaging 4 to 5 pounds. In the crappie fishing on Lake Fork, it continues to reign supreme. Small hand-tied jigs tipped with minnows or Berkeley crappie bites are easily filling the daily limits.
Easily, I love the sound of that.
Just like you and them lobsters in the Keys last week.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, well, coming up, we're heading to the Star Tri-Middle Fresh region where summer patterns are paying off. Then it's over to the Phillips Upper Coast where the bays are serving up some great action. And if you love fishing as much as we do, keep the adventure going. Scan the QR code to watch full fishing trips on the Captain Rick Murphy YouTube channel, read the latest reports, and check out our official merch. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Texas Insider Fishing Report is brought to you by Bass Assassin and Saltwater Assassin, the best lures, period. Berkeley, your fish, our science. Murphy's Law Sport Fishing. Book your trip today at murphyslawsportfishing.com. Phillips, building the infrastructure that safeguards our future. Berkeley Pro Spec Chrome. And Penn, let the battle begin.
Get ready to cast off into the world of adventure with our exclusive line of fishing shirts and hats, inspired by your favorite fishing shows. Designed for the dedicated angler in you, our high-performance gear is guaranteed to keep you cool and comfortable. Join the ranks of your favorite fishing pros and reel in the excitement. Be an insider, fish like a pro, dress like a legend. Shop your favorite brands of Sportsman's Adventures, Florida and Texas Insider Fishing Reports today at store.rmmedia.com.
Welcome back. Now, there's plenty to talk about in the Star Tri-Middle Fresh region this week, and Matt Loescher is here to break it down live for us. Are you ready for your report?
So ready.
All right.
We've got a lot of good fishing out there. It's hot right now, but we got some good fishing going on. So let's talk about it. We're going to talk about these largemouth bass here in the Middle Fresh region, starting on Sam Rayburn. So over there right now, the water level is about 7.7 feet low. The temperature is anywhere from 86 all the way up to about 92 degrees. It's starting to hit those low 90s every afternoon now, so it's creeping on up there. It's getting hot. The bass are still biting very well though, out in about 15 to 25 feet of water on the main lake, and some are in about 10 to 15 feet of water further into creeks. The water clarity is good on the main lake, but still stained from recent rains in some of the tributaries. And then the productive areas have been out on the points and the humps near the mouths of the creeks and the larger drains. The best baits have been a Texas rigged worm in red bug or June bug colors, and then a Carolina rig with that same color worm like the Bass Assassin Fat Job here. And then a jig and spoon has also been good, and a chrome color, mimicking those shad, bouncing that through there, getting that erratic action and triggering some bites. And we've got a photo from our recent bass camp here. We've got Mr. Owen there. We had our Sam Rayburn Bass Camp last week. Love having those campers in, teaching them all the tricks about how to catch them, and he got himself a good one there.
Good job, bud.
All right, now let's talk about bass fishing on Toledo Bend. Water level is 2.1 feet low now. It has been on a steady falling trend lately. The temperature is in the upper 80s to low 90s there as well. The falling water is helping the bite. The fish are beginning to group up in bigger schools, and they're becoming more predictable about where they will be. The best areas have been from the main lake into about halfway into the creeks. The fish are hanging in about 10 all the way out to 25 feet of water. The best baits have been shad-colored crankbaits like that Berkeley dredger. And then our Old Faithful, the Bass Assassin Tap Out Worm, is always a killer. I like that 6-inch best right now for dragging on the bottom in a plum apple color, but you can also throw that smaller little tapper, especially if it's a tougher bite, on those fish that are out there chasing shad. They'll bite that very well in a green pumpkin magic color. That matches those shad really well, and they'll bite that good. I got another bass camp photo for you here this week. This is from our week before. We were on Toledo Bend with our bass camp there, and we got Jacob there with a nice one, nice Toledo Bend bass.
Sure is. Camp photos. How
Love
fun.
the camp. Love the camp. All right, now let's talk about some crappie for a few minutes. We're gonna stay on Toledo Bend for that one. Starting off, the crappie are holding in about 15 to 30 feet of water on Toledo. Very typical summertime pattern right now. The bite is pretty good from about 8 in the morning all the way to about 12 o'clock, and then usually the wind dies off and the bite dies with it. Now, if you have a windier day, you can keep catching them a little bit better, and that applies to all species really. Those crappie are suspending about 10 to 20 feet down right now, and they're utilizing the shade of the trees, the bridges, and even the shade of the boat at times. So consider that when you're setting up the boat and placing your bait as well. The live minnows are always doing some catching for us, but the jig bite is often better right now if you can sit away from the fish and cast out to them. That Panfish Assassin monkey milk jig on some light line and light like a 32nd ounce head will do the trick for you. Sometimes the bite will come on the fall, you can let it fall straight down into them, or other times we're gonna retrieve it horizontally over the fish. That's best for getting more of a reaction bite. And I've got a photo here for you of a nice lady holding up a big old Toledo Bend crappie. Uh-oh, we got our photo switched around there. That's okay though. We got Graham with a big slab there.
Nice.
All right, now we're gonna do a little bit more crappie before we finish out. We're gonna go over to Sam Rayburn, and over there the crappie are holding in about 20 all the way out to 40 feet of water in the timber, the brush, and the bridge pilings. The minnow bite is best on the deeper spots where they're more likely to let you get on top of the fish, and then those shallower fish further in the creeks are best caught with a Panfish Assassin jig in that monkey milk color if the water's clean, or if you're in some of that dirtier water farther up the tributaries, the bluegrass color with that chartreuse and blue is good. And I guess we've got another photo here for you. Do we have that last photo?
There we
go. There's a nice lady there with a big old slab.
Amen. Amen to that.
Got it. Dude, you did so well. Thank you so much for traveling all the way from
It's
Texas.
so great to be here. Love being in the studio with you guys. It's always fun.
Well, we're grateful that you took time out of your schedule. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the hot spots from the Middle Fresh region. My man Matt suggests, hey, Sam Rayburn of Toledo Bend, they're pumping out lots of bass and crappies despite the heat. The bass are holding 10 to 25 feet of water, and the crappie are in 15 to 40 feet of water. 40 feet of water to catch
40 feet of water.
a little fish, a crappie, to put on the dinner table. 40 feet.
Worth it.
Go deep, baby, when it's hot.
When it's hot. All right, whether you're casting along the rocks or making a run to the fads, the lower coast region definitely has something worth chasing this week with Captain Chad Kinney. What's going on, Chad?
I tell you what, I've been fishing, going, doing doubles, doing our stuff. The weather's been great and fishing's been really awesome. They expected to hold all the way through October, at least. I've been talking about that, but talking about inshore first, the lower coast jetties, kind of fluctuates, but it's picking back up again due to the better weather. Picking up in some redfish action, and also, once in a while you catch a few snook in the mix down here, which is kind of really good around the same area. So right now, if you want to head out to the lower coast jetties and try for some redfish action, key thing is kind of, head out really early in the AM, look for some of the, the washouts, look for the current, definitely look for that bait action. You're going to see some menhaden or anything else or mullet flipping like that. And you can fish the, the end of the jetties on the outside on those washouts. So what happens, these fish move up and down those jetties, and they're feeding on the bait, of course, like that, and they're feeding on those finger mullet, and they're feeding on the menhaden. So the best thing to do is, situate yourself, whether you want a drift or a trolling motor, or you can just anchor down, and you can throw some live bait out there. So if you can use live bait, use what they're feeding on. Throw some finger mullet out there on a Carolina rig. You can use some live croaker out there. If you get some menhaden fresh, you can get that out there. It works really good. If you're using some artificial, which I've done, and Rick and I have done it here, last couple months out there, some Berkeley gulps work really good. If you can do that, I'd go to 4 to 5 inch Nemesis prawns or the turbo shrimps on that, and use a heavier jig head, 3/4 ounce jig head. So what you got to do with those, cast up against the jetty or right down the bottom. You can actually vertically jig them if you want to, and bounce those things right off the bottom, almost slow, like you're going to work for flounder. But work those areas like that, and it works already good too. There's a lot of good numbers out there. There's some slot fish, and there's some oversized in the mix here. So I got a picture of a buddy of mine, Eric Saul, we also call him Beavis. He's got a picture of his client with a slot redfish out there, but there's some good, oversized reds out there.
Also, moving out to the jetties there, same area, same scenario, same everything. There's some snook kind of in the mix down here, especially kind of out of Port Mansfield and stuff. The best way to target these things is kind of fish the same areas for the reds, but what you can use is kind of fish up a little closer to the rocks. Live shrimp works really good on this, kind of free line it out there so you don't get snagged up as much. And if you need to add a little pinch weight on there, use that. You can also try a popping cork, with a live shrimp, or switch over to a Berkeley gulp, on a popping cork. That works really good also. There's not a lot of big numbers, so you're not going to get a lot of action on it, but they are there, and there's some decent ones and good ones, and they're beautiful fish to catch down here. So there is a slot size on them, guys, but we practice and release catching all these down here because they're just a fun fish, and we're trying to get the numbers stocked back up. But they are there, so I got a picture also. Eric saw the same trip there. He caught snook and the redfish in the same areas there.
Nice.
So it's good stuff, and it's good fishing when it's on. You get that green water, it's going. So moving to offshore, the offshore is really picking up, and I'm loving it. So the offshore is picked up on especially billfish action. A lot of stuff happening up there at the fads or all up and down the upper coast, lower coast, middle coast. I'm doing the lower coast down here. They're picking up, and also Dorado in the mix, which they're feeding. The billfish are feeding on them, and that's why there's Dorado there, and that's why everything's happening out there. So the billfish getting to them, it's been really, really good. Especially for the Gulf out here, it's been really good. At the fads, work them and some temp changes out there. The key thing is get out there early. Same thing. Look for the bait movement, the bait balls. Look at your sonar. And, pull a full spread of naturals like ballyhoo. You can do that. If you want to really get key on them billfish only, get dredges out there, slow it down, 4.5, 5 knots. Watch your baits, drop it back as soon as the fish hits. There's plenty of sailfish, white marlin, been a bunch of blue marlin also in the mix. If you're trolling some lures in and cover more ground, maybe in the middle grounds between them, then you can put some mid-range on the riggers and put some chuggers on your flat lines. Works really good. You can also run some teasers and have some pitch baits ready to drop back. When you get some billfish up in the spread and they come out and start whacking stuff. But the billfishing's going to be really good, and I expect it to even keep on getting better through October. So book a trip or go with your buddies, and it's really been on fire. We just had TIFF, and there was well over 100 the first day that were caught and released. Wow. So moving on to Dorado. The Dorado, same areas, and that's what's, everything's bait and follow bait and moving anything else. So the Dorado are in the same areas that the billfish are being out there, so that's what they're feeding on. So we're hitting those fads and rips and temp changes, same stuff for those guys. But what you got to do if you're looking for the Dorado is kind of, knock down your size of the lures. Throw some cedar plugs, squid chains, and maybe get some green ballyhoo or some blackbacks, a smaller size, small to mediums on that. Use some lighter tackle, like your Penn Torque 30. Your Penn Torques with some 30-pound Berkeley mono spooled up on it. Troll the baits, 7.5 to 8 on that. Works really good. Key thing on this side, same thing. Keep your eye on the baits, drop it back. They're going to miss some. They're going to jump up. When they strike, drop it back to them. You get better hookup ratio. And these fish are also going to hold all the way through, like the billfish, all the way through October. So, go ahead and get into action on that stuff when you're ready.
All right, bud. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Bolivian adventure hotspots from the lower fresh region inshore. There's some redfish showing up at the lower coast jetties, and also a few snook in the mix with calmer conditions. And then offshore, the billfish bite. It's been good at the fads and also Dorado in and around the same areas.
All right, well, next we're diving into the lower fresh region, then we're heading to the Parts View workbench to see what's new, what's cool, and what belongs in your boat. Right, Rick?
That's right.
We'll be right back.
All right.
The Texas Insider Fishing Report is brought to you by Abu Garcia, Fish to Win. Fenwick, Feel Everything. Berkeley Pro Spec Chrome. Turn on the bite anytime. Tie on a Mirrolure. Daiquiri Deck, food, drinks, friends. And Startron, start, run, and store with Startron.
Lift off, Ricky, lift off.
Wow, dude.
That's like as good as
That's cool, man.
There he is, Ricky. Sailfish, baby. How about that?
Now we're fishing in the Pacific, boys.
We're pool fishing in Argentina, Jack.
Well,
here we are.
We're here at the Taco Marine workbench.
I was waiting for the
Taco
director
Marine
to
new
say cue.
products.
He might have, and I just didn't hear him. He's
No,
probably shutting his mic
no.
off. But anyway.
We're working together today.
That's
at
right.
the Parts You Workbench.
That's
I'm excited.
exactly right. And we're going to start off, Bree, with the Lithium Battery Pro Power Lithium Battery. Now, you know, one of the things I like about these guys is they're the first one to ever create the lithium 36 volt battery. We're going to have that on in a couple weeks. But this week, what I wanted to feature was the 24 volt 75 amp hour battery.
Wow.
23 pounds.
I
That's
picked
all
it up.
that weighs. But realistically, when they built this, it actually is up to 85 amp hours built into it. It has 4,000 cycles of lifetime. A lot of the captains that I've talked to when we were thinking about taking these guys on a sponsor, they told me, they said, you know what's really cool, Rick, is a lot of times we get 3 to 4 days out of one charge because of how efficient it is.
Right.
The cool part is how they're able to tell me this, have it factual, is that we have an app that's Bluetooth to your phone, so you can monitor how it's decharging, you can monitor how much voltage is left, and then you can also monitor when you get home the level of charge. And the cool part about lithium batteries in most cases is that they charge relatively quick when you've run them down over a 3-day period.
Yes.
You can go to lithiumbatterypower.com, find out more about this. The other part of this is how well it's constructed. The reason why this battery is so tough is that it literally is thicker nickel, more high quality welds, metal jacketed vibration proof, which makes the cylinders a lot more durable. So that's one of the things, that it's the most reliable and safe battery on the water. So just go to lithiumbatterypower.com.
There are lots of talk about that at ICAST this year.
Yes,
so
lots of
get
talk.
you one. All right, next we've got the Eagle Claw fish grip scale.
Yes.
Yes. Should I grab the bass?
Oh, just
you grab the bass. I'm gonna hold it. You guys look at this fish grip scale here. So
here's how it works.
Here's how it works. So we pull it back, we lip it.
We're gonna go right here.
Well,
go in the bottom.
Well, can we grab that?
Yes, of course, we've grabbed it.
All right, it's just fake. I don't know how.
Don't drop my
slip.
bass. If you drop my bass, I'm gonna kick your bass.
Okay, sounds good.
Look,
Kick my bass.
Let it go.
Okay.
All right, but that's how a lip gripper works, guys. Now remember
it goes
this,
up to 33 pounds, by the way.
Of course.
Yep.
Now, in most cases, when you first use this as a grabbing tool, so that it'll actually help you manage the fish, so that when you go to take your picture, you're holding the fish correctly.
Right.
You know, we want to make sure that we support the fish.
Caress and support.
That's correct.
Safely put the fish back nicely. There we go. You go to eagleclaw.com to get that. It's just simple, efficient.
What a great
way to go, Eagle Claw.
piece of equipment. I love how the quality of this, I can tell it's a really manufactured well product.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of cheap imitations out there. This is not one of them.
This is not one of them,
No.
ladies and gents. Eagleclaw.com.
All right, so
go get
one
you the
other
scale.
thing we're going to do, we're going to talk real quickly about the Savage 3D Line Through Trout Pro. What this does, it's scented infused. It comes in 3 different sizes, 6 different colors, 5 different weights, but it's a floating version. So you throw this out and it floats just onto the surface.
Wow, it looks so real.
It is.
Crazy.
That's what the 3D does. You know, I really love the fact that it's lifelike swimming action, 3D, ultra realistic photo printed details, through line, rigged with a serious treble hook. And you know, like I said, it's scented infused. We can go to savagegear.com. We're gonna wait on this for next week. You know,
Not my Plano store.
Your Plano, we're gonna wait.
Okay, fine.
All right, because we're running out of time.
There's just so much to talk about.
I spent so much time on the gripper and
the battery. Well,
and the battery.
you know what? Those are good products. So there
Yes,
you go.
they are.
All right, well, here's another one for you. If you've been thinking about repowering your boat, now's the time. Yamaha Financial Services is offering intro rates as low as 0% APR for 24 months on eligible 2.5 to 150 HP Yamaha outboards. It's a great opportunity to get the reliability, performance, and dependability Yamaha is known for with affordable monthly payments. That's what I love to hear. This limited time offer runs through September September 30th, 2026. So visit your authorized Yamaha outboard dealer today. All right, well, some of the biggest changes this week are happening in the lower fresh region, where rising water levels are creating new opportunities for anglers. With Matt Reed. Talk to us, Matt.
Hey, Bree. Yeah, let's kick this thing off talking about the largemouth bass. You know, Fayette County, it's been really hot first thing in the morning this week. The water levels are up a little bit, so that topwater bite has been kicking, man, around that grass early in the morning. Pick up that Berkeley Bullet Pop, or quarter-ounce white buzz bait to get some real quick action early. After that, the deep bite is consistent for the rest of the day. There's scattered schools on the main lake points. You know, that half-ounce shaky head with a Magnum, Berkeley Magnum hit worm or a Carolina rig presentation will continue to get you bit during the day. Lake Somerville bass are fair at best. They're kind of semi-active early in the morning on those bullet pops around the rocky banks. After that, you're going to want to move out on the deeper brush piles. The best three presentations on those brush piles are a wacky rig stick bait, a light-weighted Texas rig, or just your regular old casting brush jig. That's been working best on those brush piles. Green pumpkin, black and blue, and June bug are the best colors. Lake Amistad, it's coming from the local hammer there, Dylan Thomas, who is a really good fisherman there. Amistad has gained 9 feet in the last month, and there's now some shallow flooded vegetation that, you know, to go along with that deep grass they got. So what he's seeing is the best success in the morning is the flooded vegetation, you know, that the new water is covered in the back of pockets. After that, you want to follow out on the main lake grass or hydrilla out in that deeper water with Texas rigs and swim baits. One of the things that he is tremendously successful at is with his forward-facing sonar, you know, in the Minna-style baits. I happen to know that Dylan caught one that weighed nearly 11 the other day. That's just a monster.
That is a monster.
Mike Bates sent me a report from Choke Canyon. It's really good to be getting reports from Choke again. Got some water in it. The majority of the lake is muddy and tea-colored, so fishing is slow, man. There's 5,000 acres of new flooded vegetation. He is beginning to catch some small ones. Most of the shad and bigger bass are still out. They're waiting on the water to stabilize and the conditions to, you know, to get constant before they move in. But when those shad move in, the bass will follow, and there's just great fishing on the horizon. Got a bass pick there. That's Dylan and his buddy from one of the weekly night tournaments there on Amistad. He just dominates those events.
Well, cool. Tell me about the redfish. You know I'm coming there, baby.
All right, we got some Calaveras Lake Jim Bray report from the redfish. The redfish are hard in that summer pattern. They're holding midway back in the creeks, in the major creeks on the rocky shorelines. Main lake hard bottom points are also really effective. With the heat, the slower patterns are producing the best. You want to cast a swim bait or a lipless crankbait, work them real slow. In fact, bounce them on the bottom just like you would a soft plastic. It's the best way to trigger those bites right now. Got a picture of 2 different pictures of redfish with his clients there from the past week. It never gets old looking at those redfish pictures knowing they came from fresh water.
It's crazy to me. It's so crazy that I have scheduled to go there, and next 2 weeks I'll be there filming a Sportsman's
Better bring
Adventures.
your fish grub with you.
All right, man.
Hopefully get your line stretched.
Tell me about the white bass.
And hybrid. Greg Boyd sent a report from Somerville. The white bass and hybrids are doing well on live shiners and shad down there around Welch Park. You want to fish those baits just off the bottom. There's also a bite if you would prefer to troll. Troll a small spoon behind a diver out on those main lake points with deep water nearby. That's a great pattern to just kind of be lazy and add some great fish to your live well.
All right, Matt, I got a quick question for you. Those dates that I have 2 weeks from this weekend, why don't you come and film that Sportsman's Adventures with me, bud?
Well, you're going to have to throw those dates at me. I don't know what I've got. I go back to
Falcon pretty quick, sometime in that range, but hopefully I can make that work. That'd be awesome.
I'll text them to you as soon as we get done doing our job here. Thank you so much for batting clean up for us. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the lower fresh hotspots. My man says Fayette County. It's been hot in the shallows first thing in the morning. The water levels are up and the shallow topwater bite is good around the grass using Berkeley bullet pops and 1/4 ounce white buzzbaits. The deep fish are much more consistent. Look for the schools on the main lake in 15 to 20 feet of water. 1/2 ounce shaky head and Carolina rig and green pumpkin candy and tilapia colored plastic stick baits, creature baits, and straight tail worms will load your boat, Bree.
You're just over here chewing on some Prosheks, turkey strips,
I know, I was-
reading hot spots, asking questions. You enjoying yourself?
I am.
All right, good. Well, let's get back to work for
Because
just
I'm
a
standing
minute.
next to you. The rose with 2 thorns.
Oh, wow. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
All right, so Matt, we do a Seize the Social every week, and I know y'all have been offshore, and I think one of the exciting parts about being offshore is you never know what you're going to see. So let's take a look at Seize the Social and find out what these people saw.
Getting right back in the mood.
Oh, you gotta love a drone shot. You never know what you're gonna see.
Whoa!
How sweet was that?
That kingfish went absolutely ballistic.
Skied. I love when you got the drones up. You just seriously high flyer, but you never know. Like the drones can be so far away. You could see schools of stuff. You could see stuff skyrocket like that. It's pretty cool.
You're
I love
100%
I love
right.
technology.
You should see the drone shot we have from this just past Sportsman's Adventures.
Yeah, this is insane.
700 snook along a jetty in Elizabeth fly casting, seeing the fly line going through the air and landing in the school of snook.
Oh man.
Epic.
Kind of like your redfish school you had too.
Kind of
That's
like
really
this
neat.
Prosix jerky, Jack.
Yeah,
Why don't you try
you
and
should
piece
try
that
some of that, Matt. You flew all the way here. You landed that plane. So proud that you're here. And
It's
you
been a
got to
day.
show
I'm ready to
us.
kill this Prosix jerky, that's for sure.
Kill it.
Your little hungry bubbies left from
He needs
early.
dinner.
Like a redfish on a popping cork.
He needs a cold drink. Thanks y'all for joining us.
Sweet girl.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank
Keep
you.
cool. Eat a Prosheks.
Bye.
And see you later.